The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Ardor SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. We have a very special guest today from my hometown of Houston, Texas. It's Morad Fiki with Keller Williams Metropolitan. How are you, Morad?
What's up, man? How's it going? Doing great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just trying to get over this turkey coma, So yeah, trying to get through it. So H-Town, man, exciting stuff. It looks like you got a lot of exciting stuff going on, bro.
Oh, world champion Houston Astros.
Yeah.
It was
Nice.
amazing.
All good stuff coming out of H-Town. So let's talk about, you got a great story to tell. You served our country as well. Thank you for your service. I love to hear about that. But why don't we go ahead, and talk about how you got started? I mean, were you like me, a 6-year-old tot tugging at his mom's dress saying, "Hey, I want to be a realtor," or is that something that came later on?
From my experience, nobody really, starts in school thinking, I can't wait to grow up and become a realtor.
Right.
All of us, we kind of like fall into this career.
Yeah.
It's been an incredible career. I actually I had dreams of just being a real estate tycoon.
Yeah.
And I used to read Robert Kiyosaki's books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a classic. I used to read Donald Trump's books way before he considered or we even thought about him becoming the president. This was in the 2000s. I read The Art of the Deal. I wanted to learn, how did these magnates create all this wealth through real estate? And I was just passionate. Then I said, okay, I need to get my real estate license, because that's going to teach me how to become a real estate magnate. Of course, they don't teach you anything in real estate school, just the basics. But that's kind of how I got started.
Nice. So we talked about how you got started. Let's talk about now. What's going on now, and are you solo? Or are you on a team, or what's working there?
Oh, I'm building my own team. Yeah, definitely. I've been crushing it in real estate for the last 8-9 years here in Houston, Texas. Definitely growing my team, expansion. We're looking at taking market share, while a lot of other agents are contracting and getting smaller, especially during the market downturn. We're going to be expanding. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, that's nice. Are you bringing in new realtors? Is that the front of the expansion, or are you bringing in ancillary team members? Or tell me a little bit more about the growth. I mean, obviously it's a great town, plenty of opportunity there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm looking at bringing in newer realtors and realtors who've been in the business. The thing about realtors is 8 out of 10 agents don't renew their license after the first year.
Yeah.
So I definitely do prefer agents who have a little bit of experience and have done a little bit of sales, and to know they're not going to just quit, because this real estate business is very tough. It's a tough business, and it really takes dedication, determination, and grit.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to push through when it gets tough. And so I want someone who at least I know is going to keep going when the going gets tough.
There you go. I like it. So I'm gonna say this without making the assumption, because I know it already. I'm a little long in the tooth, as you can tell by the beard. I have sons that had been in the military, and I'll say this: do you feel like your service has a lot to do with that? I mean, having that grit and that determination not to quit, not to give up, and push through.
Oh, 100%, 100% for sure. I enlisted in the Marines when I was 17 years old. I was at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, when I was, I just turned 18. And man, it was a shock. I was there and the drill instructors were yelling, and it was just massive pandemonium. But it taught me dedication,
Yeah,
determination, pushing through when it's difficult.
right.
It taught me, and that's translated into the business space where business is tough, especially
Right.
starting a new business from scratch. It's one of
Yeah.
the most difficult things I've ever done. And it taught me just continuing to push through. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
Yeah,
And
for
being
sure.
military has definitely instilled that in me.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of realtors, when they pass that test, they think, "Hey, Shangri-La, man, I'm gonna be like on." I always say this, like HGTV lies to you, right? I mean, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
like you're gonna sit there at home and you're in some job maybe you don't like, which is fine. I mean, more, there's plenty out there for everybody. But then they come in and go, "Oh man, I'm just gonna sell $10 million homes." And I'm like, okay.
Because it's just so easy,
It's easy, man. Go on down there and do some door knocking. I live in West Palm Beach. Go to Donald Trump's place, knock on his door. Go or any of these guys. Grant
Yeah,
Cardone's
you,
down here.
you,
Go
you
knock on
can
their
get
doors.
past security.
Yeah, you're not going to get in the neighborhood. You got to do something more. You got to stand out. I like what you're doing. Morad, you're building that. What is you got like? How many followers do you have on social?
Over 200,000 followers now throughout
How
all
come?
my accounts. And just continuing to build. It's all about building a brand. I've
Yeah.
been very insistent and persistent about
Yeah.
building a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Building a brand that stands the test of time, building a brand where people look for me for my services, and that's what's really, it takes time. It
Yeah.
takes time to build a brand. It doesn't happen overnight.
Right. No, definitely it does not. And building the right brand, right? I mean, it's like you could build a brand, hey, Morad, he's this or that, but the reality is you want to be the authority, right? You want to be the
Yeah,
authority, the go-to guy in
absolutely.
in your town, right? In this case, in H town, the surrounding areas. And you know what? There's a specific way to do that, man. And I think you got it. With 200,000 followers, I'm like, man, I can't bust through 200,000 this year. But that's awesome. I think that's fantastic for sure. Um,
Thank
so
you.
let's talk a little bit about your day to day. Now, let's just say I come home to visit family, and I say, hey, I'm gonna go visit my old buddy Morad, and we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk some shop. And I'm the first thing I'm gonna ask you how things going. You're gonna tell me things are going great because you're an optimistic, great guy. You're gonna keep that positivity flowing. And then I'm gonna turn it around. I'm an optimistic, great guy too, but I'm a problem solver. And so I'm gonna say, I'm here to help you, Morad. What could I do in your day to day to make things better for you? What would that be?
You helping me as a problem solver?
Yeah, just say if you had something that you wanted taken care of, or in business, you're like, hey, every day I've got this nagging ongoing deal. It's either I need more time, I need more listings, I need more this, that, and the other thing. What would that be? Everybody's got one,
As an agent, yeah, definitely. As an agent, I would say more listings. Listings are leverage.
Right.
Listings,
I like that.
whoever has listings controls the market.
Right.
And so I definitely want to increase my listings. You can never have enough listings.
Okay.
I'm always looking to double my listing volume and my listing inventory. And even now, when the market's tightening up, I still want listings. When the market shifts, like right now, it's shifting from a seller's to a buyer's market.
Yeah.
So you definitely want some buyers. You want to work with buyers, and buyers are great, but I still always want to carry a listing volume, a healthy level of listing volume, and I want to double that, of
Yeah.
course.
Nice. Nice. You got some great listings on your site as well.
Thanks.
No doubt about it. And I will say this, and I only say this because I'm from there, and not like it gives me a right to say it, but I will say this: Texas overall, Houston overall, compared to the rest of America, to me, and that sounds crazy because Texas is on the news all the time about people migrating there, right? To
Yeah.
me, is still an uncut gem. I mean, it's this deal where It's still affordable, though prices have gone up with the rest of the country, but it's
Oh
still
yeah.
very affordable. You have a coast, right? You have a ton to do, and a great culture there. I mean, I really think it's like people kind of gloss over a lot of areas of Texas. You know, you always hear about Austin. That's because so many people from California moved there. Where do the most of your transplants? You know, I'm in Florida, 300,000 people a year, you know, migrating, and plus, Texas has got the same thing going on. Where do most of your buyers that aren't from H-Town, where are they coming from?
There's a ton of migration from New York and California to Texas
Okay.
and to Florida. I'm sure you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So,
Too many.
ton of migration. You know, and
Right.
I think because people are tired of the state income taxes in New
Yeah.
York and California. Like, what are they actually getting for that state income tax?
Nothing.
You know, not much. You know, you got states like Texas and Florida that have no state income tax. I know in Texas it's banned permanently. It's in the
Yeah.
state constitution. They can
Right.
never implement a state income tax. Now, you would argue, okay, well, Texas has a little bit higher property taxes than most, and it does, and they're working on getting that reduced. But
Yeah.
that's property taxes. So that depends on what home you buy, and you know, that depends on the level of home you buy is what you're going to pay in property tax. But there's no state income tax. So I know people are tired of state income taxes. They're just moving to Texas and Florida. And for that reason, Texas gained two, not one, but two U.S. congressional seats.
Nice.
For the U.S. Census, we gained two. California lost a seat and New York lost a seat. And Texas gained two.
And as
yeah.
they should, as
Yeah.
California and New York should. And I have nothing against those states, but those two states have way too much power, in my opinion. You know, that's just
and they lost two congressional seats.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, we're getting a lot of migrants from California and from New York.
Yeah. That's good though. I mean, I think that's great. And there's plenty in Texas to be had. Whether
Oh,
you know, whether
oh,
in
yeah.
your Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, man, there's a whole plethora of cities around all these big metroplexes. Uh, I mean, you know them better than I do, friend. You know, there you can go past the Woodlands to Tomball. You can go down to Sugarland. I mean, there's just so much, man. All
Yeah.
all the way up to the Louisiana border if you want it. I don't know many people that want to live up there, but you know, it's there. So yeah, fantastic, man. That's awesome. So let's put our prognostication hats on, right? I mean, let's do a little prediction of the future. What is the next 1, 3, and if you want to even get into detail about the real long-term goal for Morad and his team, what does the 1, 3, and 5 year look like for you?
1, 3, and 5 years. I plan to dominate Houston. I mean, that's been my very primary and focus, and it's been my goal is to just take market share, dominate Houston. I want to get to 100 million in sales within the next 3 years. Me personally, for myself and my team,
Nice.
and then in 5 years, you know, hit 1 billion in sales, annual sales.
Yeah, 1 billion's a great number. I know a few that do it, you know, and
Yeah.
there's no secret sauce to it, right? It's hustle. It's
Hustle, muscle, and brand notoriety. The more that I'm known, the more business that will flow to me. So I have to get known. That is my number one thing every single day. Is how do I get known in ways that, and how do I expand my audience?
That's great. So tell me a few ways besides social media. I mean, social media is one great aspect of it. What else are you doing out there, man? I mean, you're really knocking it and being known in 200,000 followers. I can't argue with that at all. So, you know, what's your
I got
secret?
to 10x that. That's just the
Yeah,
beginning.
there you go. Got a 10x that. Then you're
Oh yeah.
really you stand alone then at the top of the mountain. So what's the secret sauce just besides hustle muscle and you know everything else? Are you boots on the ground in it at all? I mean, what else is going on with you getting your name out there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a big thing that I'm doing to really get known is putting out powerful and consistent content that is of value to the general public, to people interested in homes and interested in looking at homes or buying a home or selling a home, what do they want to know? What do they need to know that no one's telling them? And being on top of what's happening, the latest, greatest. Interest rates have risen rapidly in the last few months, but there's programs where you can get your interest rate reduced. There's rate buy downs. There's so many different things. So I'm putting out content that is of value to the end user and wants to know, and that's why people follow me. They want to see what, this content, and that's what I do, and do it consistently, right, to have an impact.
Yeah, what do they say? Marry the house and date the rate, right? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I did a video about that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, there's absolutely no point. And I don't know your age, and that's okay. I don't even need to know. I'll tell you how old I am, though. I'm 52, and I can tell you this: I'm old enough to remember 17%.
Wow.
So anybody wants to give you any jive or any bull about interest rates, tell them we're historically still lower than a lot of different times when housing was hot. So it's no joke. We just had this time zone, right, where everything was a sweet spot interest rate wise. But what happened? Home prices just went through the roof, and that's okay too if there's real value there. That. So everything balances out one way or the other, right? I mean, either home prices are going to zoom if rates are at 3%, or they're going to settle back like they are now when interest rates rise. Everything's a balance. Everything's a balance. So there's always opportunity. You know that, right, Morad?
Oh yeah. Every situation presents itself an opportunity, and so rates have risen, but prices are falling. Right. And so there's an inverse relationship between rates and the amount of buyers out there. 40% of all the buyers have taken a step back right now, and have said, I'm going to wait for whatever reason. And that means sellers are having to be a lot more honest about the pricing of their properties. And now that the buyers have taken a step back, the prices are falling a little bit. Sure. So you can get a great deal on a house right now.
Yeah, for sure. There's no reason not to buy at all.
Absolutely.
How would
the market is always cyclical, but the people that win in the long run are the consistent people that take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves.
Yeah, and there are tons of opportunities. I can't imagine where you're at. I would love to be. I mean, I'm in a good area. Don't get me wrong. West Palm Beach is pretty fantastic. But when it comes to being a realtor, I got to tell you, DFW or Houston, everybody talks about Austin, but DFW or Houston, I think are great metroplex areas that just offer something for everybody. And I don't necessarily believe Austin is something for everybody. But I do know Houston and Dallas, Fort Worth, there's something for everybody, for sure, no matter what scope of life you come from.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do people get in touch with you? You talked about social media. Hit me up with your details for social media. How can we?
Yeah, I'm on all platforms. So jump on, let's connect on your favorite platform, whether that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. I'm on TikTok as well. Hit me up on your favorite platform. I would love to connect with you. My YouTube channel has some powerful content, the best homes in Houston, Texas. Also, I will add, I have the premier website for luxury homes in Houston, Texas. It's HoustonLuxuryRealEstate.com. Nice. I'm happy to connect there. I'm happy to connect on your favorite social media platform. You can always hit me on my website, HoustonLuxuryRealEstate.com or MoradFiki.com as well. And let's connect. I love to make contact with you. I really appreciate you putting me in front of your audience.
Yeah, no worries.
And it really means the world to me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, you're not out of the woods yet, man. I got one more big one for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you have the floor on the last 2 minutes and say whatever is on your heart, your mind, whatever thought process. It could be about your dog. It could be about business. It could be about the greatness of Houston. Whatever, take us out. Tell us what's on your mind and how you want to be remembered.
Well, I just want to say, I know the last few years have been pretty difficult with COVID, with the interest rates, with the market fluctuations. There's just so much up and downs and all arounds and just moving everybody. I would say stay focused, stay positive, stay productive, and you will achieve greatness. We all have greatness within us. And quite often we put our dreams by the wayside because of all the craziness that's going on in the world. Don't believe the hype. Stay focused, put your head down, make it happen. You have greatness within you, and you can achieve your dreams, whatever they are. So don't let your dreams fall by the wayside, because next thing you know, a year has passed, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And if you haven't taken steps forward towards your dreams, it's just a huge, huge miss. And I know we've all done that, myself being included. So I just want to, with the year coming to an end, I want to refocus with your dreams. What are the burning desires of your heart? What are the passions, and what have you been wanting to take action on that you haven't taken action on? Let's get back in focus. Let's get back in realignment, and let's take steps towards achieving greatness. And if I can help you in any way, I would love to do that.
Great advice. Great sage advice, Morad. Morad Fiki, Keller Williams, Houston, Texas. Gotta love it. Thank you so much for being on the show. I look forward to catching up with you over the next 3, 6, maybe 9 months, see where you're at. I think you're going to hit all those goals, probably get to 500,000 followers in the next year, man. You're going to be everywhere.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you again so much for your time and your consideration, and for putting me in front of your audience, Timothy. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. And if there's anything I can do to be of service to you or your audience, please let me know.
Fantastic, Morad. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.